Intended for mature audiences only, so your mom is definitely invited. Sometimes controversial, always engaging. It's the podcast that lets your voice be heard. It's the podcast that shouts you out. It's time to holler. Can you dig it?
I could eat a unicorn one day through a Pop-Tart.
I like toaster strudels.
You like the jizzy part?
Yeah, I like the way it explodes
You
in
like
my
it?
mouth. And to swallow it down, oh my God.
Your tweets, snaps, Facebook comments, and even phone calls. Holler any way you want.
They used to give kids opiates to keep them quiet.
This is much less offensive than that.
JD, Brian, and Gracie. Holler at your boys. And the girl.
What is up, Internet? How in the hell are you out there? My name is JD Short, and this is Holler. It is the podcast that shuts you out. It's interactive. You get to talk to us. We get to party. It's a lot of fun. Join us on it. We're having a good time. Hit me up on Facebook and Twitter, blah, 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 at JDSHORT on all that good stuff. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want, Snapchat. To my left is my good buddy, Brian. What's up, Brian? How you doing?
What is up, Internet? All you live audience listeners that are tuning in right now, you've waited. We delayed a little bit. We had technical difficulties. We're here. I'm so happy to be here. We're going to have a good night tonight. We've got a great guest. Our guest is Jonathan. He's an artist. He's going to give you a little bit of his shit later on as we go. But first, I must introduce myself. I am Brian, the co-host. I want you guys to find me on Twitter. That happens to be my favorite social media, at Holler at Brian, just like it sounds. You shout me out. I'm going to shout you out always live on the show for doing so. Guys, we've got a great show in store. I'd like to introduce the third co-host. It's Gracie. Gracie, what's up?
I'm so tired. Wait. What is it that I always say? Man, the moon is full. Something about the universe. I don't know. Man. Brian was talking shit on Twitter the other day, so I just had to make sure he was right for once in his life.
You don't have to even think about it. Just be yourself. Just be yourself.
You're a dick, Brian. Anyway, hey, I'm here. Holler at me on Twitter at Holler at Gracie. It's where I've been active really recently. You can always find me on Snapchat at GracieH89. That's about it. That's all I got. Hi, Kia. Hi, Brandy.
That's about it. Welcome to the show. Holler is the podcast that shouts you out. Right now, I'm going to shout out our guest. It is Jonathan. He's a wonderful rapper, singer, activist, wonderful man. What's up, dude? How the hell are you?
What up? What up? I'm really tired because so I work at Apple, right? And they're doing curbside, so which means I have to be outside all freaking day.
And it's hot.
And North Carolina heat's different than up there, y'all. Like, it's fucking terrible.
Heat is different. Well, shit. Well, we're gonna have fun with you. We're gonna talk about your music. We're gonna talk about some stuff you've been into recently. We're going to open up some Snapchats and Facebook posts from people. We've got some fun poll questions we asked, and we're gonna get involved with the crowd and all that good stuff. We got some shots to fire, all that good shit. But before we do anything, we're gonna do a toast. So everybody, if you've got a cocktail with you, make sure you grab it. If you don't, whatever, no big deal. I know I got one right here. It's Jaeger Bomb because they rule. Yeah, there we go. Everybody's ready.
I just grabbed a beer from the fridge.
All right, that'll work. Here we go. This is the toast, and then we're going to kick it. And Brian, you're going to bring in that theme music right after this here. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the toast to the 3 types of orgasms. To the holy kind, oh God, oh God, oh God. To the positive kind, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. And to the fake kind, oh Brian, oh Gracie, oh Jonathan. Cheers, y'all.
First, fuck you.
What up, Alexandra?
Akia.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's Holler. That song you just heard, by the way, is called Jerry Diesel. It's by a band called Zugma. The gentleman who actually created this hat that I'm wearing right now, he was in that band. He also owns a label called Death Black Apparel. Go check them out. They're on Shopify. Also, Holler is brought to you by beerchugging.com. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You can chug for charity on the internet with your friends while you're socially distancing and all that good shit. Go to beerchugging.com, buy their merch. And a percentage of all sales are going to go to charity. It's freaking cool shit. It's fucking awesome. Welcome to the internet, everybody. Is everybody doing good? Everybody had a good week? I know it's been fucking heavy and crazy.
It is Friday. I am ready to get drunk. Let's do it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Gracie, how about you? Good week on your side of things?
Yeah, it's been all right.
All right, cool. Whatever. Jonathan, that's actually the person I really want to talk to. What's up, man? How the fuck have you been? And tell us a little bit about the sort of musical stuff you've been getting into recently, man.
Yeah. So I'm well. I'm really tired. Like I said earlier, like just tired of like people in general sometimes too. Music wise, there was a lot of shit that was going to be coming out, and then people decided to be dumb on video. So that kind of stopped that shit. I just don't feel like this is the climate to try to make a profit when something this serious is going on. So a lot of my artist shit has been kind of put on hold. I'm still working, like I'm still writing and I'm still like collabing and stuff, but nothing's going to be out for a second.
That's respect, man. And honestly, I think a lot of artists and people that have been planning on putting things out, I've taken that into account because it is true. That's not really where the like consciousness of the nation needs to be. It needs to be on the things that are very important right now, which obviously one of which is, the coronavirus situation that's still happening and still a big deal. But the real thing, actually, the one that's even more dangerous and the one that's even more violent is obviously the systemic racism that's been happening in the country. And that's why we say Black Lives Matter. That's why we say all lives won't matter until Black Lives Matter.
Thanks.
And that's true. Actually, did you see, by the way, Jonathan, that like the World Health Organization actually made a statement that said when people were talking about people going out in the street and protesting and stuff, it's like dangerous, because of the COVID situation. They were like, actually, COVID, we can kind of handle that. That was the whole point of the social distancing thing. But the racism, the systemic racism, and the issue with police brutality is actually more dangerous than the shit we got, which is crazy to think, man. But it's true. It's true.
This whole thing, it's crazy to me that like this. I was actually on a live with another person on IG earlier today. I truly believe that like this is the second civil rights movement, and I think this is bigger than even the first one. Like this is on a world stage now.
It's got to be. We got social media and everything.
Yeah, I think this is a super cool moment.
You posted recently, and you've been making some great posts online about some really great stuff. You were recently on a trip. I think you were at Walmart, and a lady had you might have been wearing something that possibly said Black Lives Matter or something in that situation. And you said the lady came up to you and said, "Could you kind of give us a rundown of what that was?" Because I thought it was a wonderful.
Sure. Yeah. Let me preface it by saying, not every Black person wants to tell you about our oppression. It's not our job to tell you about our oppression. I just happen to be a person who doesn't care to have a conversation. Some don't, and that's okay either way. However, I was actually down here. They have this place called Food Line. I don't think they have one up there.
We got one.
Do you have a Food Line? Where?
Yeah, it's actually close to Brian's place. It's next to the Gucci Kroger.
Food Line? That's crazy. Yeah. I didn't know there was one. All right, cool. So that's
Food Fair. I'm sorry. My bad.
So Food Line is Food Line is it's essentially Kroger, just smaller and without sushi.
Okay.
So I was in Food Line.
You ain't a lion, brother.
God damn it.
You son of a bitch.
So I'm in Food Line and I'm just walking around just getting groceries, and normally I'm approached by people who like, oh my God, like you play football somewhere? Because I'm a big person apparently. And this particular individual had the balls to just be like, yo, because I was actually wearing this shirt. It's a Black Lives Matter shirt, and had the balls to be like, hey, I think all lives matter. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, me too. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I do. I think all lives matter too. She said, well, then what's your shirt? I was like, that's great. Because like you said earlier, all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter. And right now we're being disproportionately killed. And people are not being held accountable, and we're not receiving justice. But I agree with you that all lives matter. And she said, well, blah, 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 blah. And I was just kind of like, cool. But like, if I can ask you a question, do Black Lives Matter? Well, all lives matter. Yeah, I get that. But like, do Black Lives Matter too? And she said, yes, but like, and I was like, no. Do Black Lives Matter?
Yes or no?
Yes. Yeah, I said, yeah, do Black Lives Matter? Yes or no? That's all I need. She went, yeah. I said, okay, great. Welcome. Have a good day.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Because that's the kind of attitude, that's really the high road kind of attitude a lot of people, a lot of people would actually do that in real life, but about people on the internet behind a keyboard don't actually have that same attitude. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Hey, what's up, Alexandra? How you doing? She's saying, chiming in. And by the way, if you're out in the chat, hit us up. We'll throw you up on the screen and we'll shout you out.
We've got Corey out there as well. What's up, Corey? We've got Akia in the house. What's up, Akia?
What's up? So not to, we don't have to, because obviously it's going to come up, and it should come up in all conversation or whatever. We don't have to like stick around on it and everything like that. But I did want to talk about, you did recently do some videos on Facebook, but some stuff, and you wrote some really great prose. Are you planning on continuing to write, when it comes to that kind of stuff? And, when you do decide to release some new things, how much do you think the music you're going to create is going to be affected by that? I mean, it's obviously it's going to be. But
that's a great question. I never want to be considered a conscious rapper, if that makes sense, because I think in hip hop, specifically hip hop, people have a tendency to take conscious rap or to there's like this weird divide and like chasm between conscious rappers and rappers who talk about everything else, and like you don't hear the non-conscious rappers talk about what's going on, and if they do, they're not taken serious, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. Like could you imagine? Oh shit! I mean, who's a current rapper right now that's just all about the bling? And
I don't give a fuck what Trippie Redd has to say about Black Lives Matter.
Yeah,
I just don't.
Even though he's he's got an opinion obviously about it. And he's gonna want,
and it's great. My thing is like, I think I wish the conversation didn't have to be this idea of like, I don't need my art to speak for me. It's a great avenue for me to have, but if the only way you're going to listen to me is through my music, then maybe I don't necessarily want you to hear me. Like if we can't have a conversation like adults, and you need a beat behind me to like hear what I'm saying, then maybe I don't know. I don't want to talk to you. Maybe
that's a wonderful answer to a pretty good question there too. Shit, hell yeah. Well, word. We're going to share your information with everybody. You can, by the way, you can look up Jonathan on Spotify, Apple Music, all this great stuff. He's got a wonderful song called "Curse." That's the one you did with City Phil, right?
Hey, that's my guy. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love that song so much.
Bro, it's been over a year since I've released that mug.
Yeah, that's insane. That's crazy. So it's about time for some new shit.
It's about time. Yeah.
When the time comes, it's gonna happen for sure.
Exactly.
But yeah, check out. Just look it up, Jonathan. If you actually just type in Jonathan Curse on any of those, that'll pull up that song as well as his profile, and you'll be able to check out the other releases he's done, which are freaking awesome. But yeah, we're gonna come back to talk more about other stuff. But I think we should get in touch with Holler Nation out there and say what's up. Looks like Emily. What in the Sam hell of Zoom is going on here? Well, this is Holler, girl. This is the show
and
where
if you stick around long enough, we're gonna holler at you.
You'll see it.
Just like we're gonna holler at Gina Michelle. What's up?
She's going to bed soon, but that's okay.
Good night, Gina.
Good night, Gina.
Thank you for that.
Because we are leaving for the beach at 5 a.m.
Yes, which is also why Gracie, we're probably going to send her home
true.
early in a little bit. And we're going to bring in our friend Cole, who is our lawyer friend, who is going to give you some non-legally binding news later on. So be out there in the world thinking about something you want to ask a lawyer for his opinion on. Non-legally binding, of course. Let's move on to the next thing. What do you say? Does that sound good?
Link up at officialholler.com.
Gets a little crispy sometime.
You're fucking pathetic.
Hashtag Holler Nation. I guess since I did the toast, I think I'm going to go ahead and just start with my poll, if that's cool. Gracie is responding to the chat. What are you laughing at in the chat there, Grace?
Listen, I laugh at everything. I can't help it. I read it and I laugh. So you're talking about something serious, and then I read something funny and I laugh. I can't help it.
I want to use this time to just reiterate before JD goes into his holler poll, which is really what this show is all about. It's about us sending you a poll via Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, all the social medias. You guys sending us your answer, and then we shout you out on the show. That's what the show's all about. Plus, all of you listening live, if you haven't already submitted an answer, if you talk to us, we're going to constantly throw you up on the screen. This is an interactive podcast. If it's your first time, we welcome you. We're so glad to have you. But before we do this, I also want to point out later on in the show, we're going to do a segment called Holler at a Lawyer, where we do bring in our own Holler attorney, and you guys get to ask non-legally binding questions. So if you have any legal questions, we are going to bring on a lawyer who's going to give you his advice. It's non-legally binding advice, but nonetheless, he's going to shoot you straight. We do have a lawyer to come on the show. So you guys can type that in the chat, and that's at any point during the show, and then we'll go from there. But for right now, I think JD's going to get to his poll. JD, what was your poll tonight? Let's go.
My question. This is a sort of would you rather thing, and we might do this a little bit more often on the show because it's a fun thought experiment people do all the time anyway. But you got to choose between two options here. They both will have caveats, but the simple one is: would you rather have $1 billion or the power of flight? Now, here are the stipulations. The $1 billion would be cash in the account or in wherever you needed it. No pageantry, so it's not like there would be a announcement that you won the lottery or anything. Basically, you would just boom. The moment you made the decision, pow, you're a billionaire. Boom. And nobody really has to know. You can announce it if you want. I guess, over time, blah, 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 blah. But the power of flight, the stipulation with that is there are no real technical limits to it. You know how like people would say, oh, well, if you flew up too high, shit, what about the air? No, there's no air speed or physical limit to the flight. So it's like Superman, basically. If you can go out into space, you can go out in space. No big deal. Well, I like good shit. But would you rather have $1 billion or have the power of flight? I think we should go around the table here and see what we all answer first. Gracie, would you mind tallying? And let's see what, in the end, Holler Nation decides to do. Corey says, really, it's all about
Holler. Yeah,
that's
what I was making that face for because you
don't want to? Okay. Oh, okay. Found a pen. You don't have a pen.
Junk mail.
What a wonderful producer.
I was looking for a pen.
Found a pen underneath the couch and a piece of junk mail on the floor. All right.
Wait a second.
Brian, go first.
It's on my table.
My answer was already set in stone, loud and clear, and you almost convinced me otherwise just based off of your intro. You were that good of a salesman. When you started talking about flying into space like Superman, that really got me thinking, and I was like, man, that might be actually worth more than $1 billion, being able to just like shoot to different planets and things like that. I'm all about outer space, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to stick with my guns here, and I think it's going to be the most popular answer, by the way, which is just go ahead and give me $1 billion. As a matter of fact, the rule of no pageantry, that's even better for me, dude. If I could get $1 billion and nobody fucking knew and I could just be myself, that's even better. Like, don't announce that shit, as a matter of fact. So I'll take the $1 billion, and people are going to say, well, I could fly wherever I wanted with $1 billion. No, you actually can't. And I think you kind of sold that on the intro, but I wouldn't have thought that way if you wouldn't have sold it so well. So, anyways, tally one for $1 billion. I would like to be rich quietly. That'd be amazing.
Rich quietly. I like it. Honestly, I also picked the billion. I'm going to go ahead and go next, and I'll be quick in my explanation. I figure having $1 billion is so much fucking money. People can't even fathom. It's 1,000 millions. That's a lot of fucking money. And I would figure over just a certain amount of time, we'd probably be able to create some sort of anti-gravitational device, especially if you got plenty of money to pay for it. So, hey, if you were a billionaire, the power of flight might just end up happening later on anyway. So that's why I'm going with billion. I kind of want best of both worlds with that, but also you don't just have to fly with $1 billion. You can also buy the fuck anything you want, and you don't have to worry. You can take care of the rest of your family. You can do all this shit. I mean, come on. That's my answer, at least for that. Gracie, how about you?
The money. Because, it's just easy. You can just buy a house, buy new cars, buy a private jet, buy a private island, and live there, and nobody will bother you.
Yeah, you can buy things.
And I'm going to podcast from my private island. What?
I'm waiting for the usual internet troll to come in and say, Gracie, with $1 billion, you can buy a new webcam and microphone. But guess what? Surprise,
Where's
bitches.
Brandon? Where's Brandon?
You already did.
She already did it. It's already done. It's already done. However, the quality is still not as good as Brian and I. So just saying, we still kick ass over here on the.
I don't know. Y'all are a little fuzzy. I'm just crystal clear over here.
Gracie, you're doing a great job. Thank you so much for what you do.
I just saw Jonathan roll fucking eyes too.
I'm so glad this is recorded.
Jonathan, how about you, man? Would you rather fly or would you rather be an instant billionaire? What's up?
I'm 100% taking the money. Yeah, it's not even a question. Because I don't think we understand how much $1 billion really is and how quickly I would spend all that shit. So yeah.
Would you find like 1,000 $1 million things and just buy each of those, and then bam, you'd just be like, all right, I got.
I don't know what I would do. Like, I have no idea what I would do with that kind of money.
Andy, listen.
Nobody. Yeah. I mean,
turn into one of those fucking guys on Twitter that is like, if you retweet this, I'll fucking cash app you $100. You could do that like, 1 million fucking times. It wouldn't even make it.
And I wouldn't send any of them niggas shit. Like, I wouldn't do it.
Well, fuck yeah.
Yeah, Timmy Morgan says, fuck yeah. We've got Victoria in the house also. And she says, with the power of flight, you could become a human pigeon. That's correct. That is correct. That's Victoria, a.k.a. Pirate Twinkie Gracie, by the way.
A lot of girls out there are already fucking pigeons. You know what I'm saying? All right. I'm going to open up some Snapchat answers real quick. We'll see what people got to say about this. And this first one's going to come from Tyler. You can snap him at BiggieT81. Instant billionaire or Superman flight? Tyler, what are you going to say?
One of your easiest questions would be the power to fly, because then you can go anywhere you want, whenever the fuck you want.
There you go. I mean, that's his answer for that. He didn't really have the care for money there, I guess. That's the situation. We said hi to Gina. She's still on, so I'm going to go ahead and open yours, Gina, while you're still in here. You can hit her up on Snapchat, Gina MR. Gina says, I'll take the money and buy a jet. There you go. Just jets can't, I don't know. There's
That's my
go, though. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's all I got to say about that. I'm going to open up one more here. This one's from Nikki. Snapstar Nikki. You can snap her at NickLyn322. That's NIKLyn322. She says, I'd take $1 billion, then I'd just buy a private jet and have the flight ability also. See, everybody really wants to do best of both worlds. What is up with human nature?
They always have to double fucking dip.
You got to pick one. All right, no.
Guys,
that does make sense.
We've got someone on deck right now that's ready for an answer. Wait, what'd you say, Gracie?
Loopholes.
Oh, okay. Gracie, I'm going to make you disappear for a second. Thank you so much for being here. There you go. And just like that, we're gonna bring our Holler at a lawyer. This is Cole.
Asshole.
He's not in his lawyer mode right now. He's in Cole mode. So Cole, what's up? You got an answer for this question.
I just had to answer this because it's a great one, and because you know how my brain works. I would take the flight because the simple matter is, if you can fly, I would just rob the fuck out of everyone, and I would have over $1 billion whenever I wanted it. Like you just walk in a bank, grab it, and fly out. Like it's not like they're going to find you.
Yeah, they can't really even catch you.
Just go to outer space, fly just fly to like China or something, rob a bunch of people, fly back to the United States. Like,
and I was going to say, what about the ingenuity of American entrepreneurship?
So much work.
What about if you had the ability to fly? You'd be the first real fucking superhero, and you could make a lot of money already just doing
Hancock.
It. Yeah, you could Hancock.
100%. I would just be Hancock.
You could just Hancock the hell out of it.
That's all I have to say for now. I'm sure I'll be back later, but I just had to answer that.
Yeah, and you could be, you're right. You could be good at sports, by the way. You could use your flight for sports and you could make money that way. But like, I think Andy said it. I also had this thought in my head about those things. It's like, you could technically make $1 billion or more just by being so flighty and also be able to fly to Mars and shit like that. But like Andy said, that's exhausting, bro. Just give me the billion. Just give me turn over the billion.
Also, at some point, $1 million is going to get, or $1 billion is going to get old. Like you have all this money, you're just sitting home and you're like, I wish I could do something like, fly to Mars or something.
Nah.
Cool. Thank you so much. We'll see you a little bit later in the show, man.
Bringing Gracie back in the place to be.
3, 2, 1, and bam, there she is, just like that.
Akia says, "Hey, Cole."
Oh yeah, Cole. Sorry, there was your shout out. We've got Captain Awesome that's joining the crowd as well, and Captain Awesome says, I would want to fly. I'd strap a rocket to my back and cruise to the space station with it on my back. SpaceX can suck it. So Captain Awesome going to fly out to SpaceX and tell them to suck it, I guess.
Well, would the rocket be? You don't need the rocket. I don't get
it. It's just for looks, I guess.
I guess just strap a rocket on your back. It's just a fake rocket. It's like a movie prop rocket that you don't need it.
Yeah,
it's just so you can convince people.
It's like his book bag. His book bag is shaped like a rocket to carry all of his stuff in.
Captain
Gracie
makes sense, right? Always gotta think of things. Come on.
JD, you got any more on your poll? You want to answer there? What's up, man?
Shut up, bitch.
No, I'm good for right now. Let's scoot over to yours, dog.
Okay, so for my Holler poll, this is what I want to know from you guys, and I sent this out to the world. We'll see what everybody has to say. If blank were an Olympic sport, I would have a gold medal. I want you guys to fill in the blank. Let me know what you have a gold medal in. I'm going to go around the table for back to me. Gracie, what would you have a gold medal in?
True. I can answer this for her.
Right? Same.
Good.
Bitchiness.
Yeah, straight bitching. That's what.
Damn.
Just bitchiness.
Jesus Christ.
All right, Jonathan, what's your weird What?
She was going to say it. She was going to say that. Was her answer.
I didn't hear what he said. What do you think, Jonathan? Go ahead.
Being a wonderful, kind soul.
Oh,
womp womp.
Mostly because I feel like Gracie will text me and cuss me out.
Probably putting up with your all bullshit. What? I'm not.
No, Gracie, I've got you.
Putting up with your all's bullshit.
I've got your answer. No worries.
A fucking medal.
Your Olympic medal is technical difficulties. Period. That's your medal.
Yes, that's also a good one.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll get an Olympic medal in child care. Boom.
Jonathan, what would you get an Olympic gold medal for?
I don't know.
That's what he just said. He answered.
Oh, okay, got you. JD, what's up, dude?
Unless you want to change your answer, Jonathan, you can.
Cool. No, I don't. I actually thought I was answering for Gracie.
But, okay.
But now that I think about it, I kind of like that too.
For your own self.
Yeah.
Word. For me, it would probably be like I need to have the gold medal in being like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of things I'm capable of, but nothing I can really fucking pull off like perfectly. There's always something's just fucked somehow. So I can do pretty much everything, but shittily. That's my goal. basically, I would have a gold. I'd have
a lot, but I'm not good at it.
I would have a gold medal and having bronze medals.
Ooh, bars. Bars.
You know, and it's like, why is that even a bad thing? You're like third in the world at many things. That should be fantastic, right?
It's like I can do a little bit of plumbing here and there, you know, but I'll probably install the faucet backwards accidentally, you know, like I can do things.
Oh, wow.
Shit like that, you know what I'm saying?
Grab him by the pussy.
And Brian, I think your last one.
Fuck that nigga.
Man, dude, I don't have a great answer for my own poll, and I'm gonna be like sort of lame on mine, but sort of not. So I want you to hear me out. So like, my job is called orthotic fitting, and that's when I go in and like fit someone with a torn ACL. I fit them with a brace. There's a lot of complicated shit that goes into this bracing. Every brace has so many different straps, so many different ways to put them on, so many different sizes, dude. I could do a seminar for 10 hours and still not cover everything. I've done it for so long now, and I pride myself on being extremely fast at it. And I always joke with my coworkers, if they had an Olympics for like bracing, for like orthotic bracing, I would fucking win a gold medal for that. That's always been my inside joke, and that was the inspiration for the story. Even though I knew people were gonna like take this, you know, above and beyond and say some funny shit. But orthotic bracing, what a weird answer, but true nonetheless.
Brian's own competitiveness is going to push. It's just going to basically say whatever job I have at the time, I'll get a gold medal in it. Fuck it.
Make me the best.
I'm the best at anything that I do. He's basically the opposite of what I was saying.
Brian, your head gets any bigger, it's not going to fit on that screen.
I never said it.
Brian, I could put a brace on somebody, but it would fall off in like 24 hours.
Yeah. I mean, you could play adult kickball, but like, you know,
I'd fall down a lot.
Gonna fall down.
Adult kickball cannot be that hard. Like
you'd be fucking surprised.
We got a GoPro for you. We'll just throw it on here. All right, let's see what Snap Nation has to say. Holler Nation out in the Snap world. Let's kick this thing off with Jeff Zinazek. This is a comedian out of Los Angeles, and we do appreciate you snapping the show, Jeff. So what's up?
Yo, Jeff Zinazek from Los Angeles to tell you, if getting your dick sucked was an Olympic sport, I would be a gold medalist in getting your dick sucked. I am the champion of receiving dick sucks.
God damn it. Thank you, Jeff. The Grounded Podcast is back, by the way.
What a joy.
I am slightly uncomfortable.
Jeff also, by the way, just as a side note, just a sidebar here.
Take a shit on the internet.
Jeff has come out with a parody podcast called Two Woke Boys. And it's pretty fucking ridiculous. Nick, by the way, better late than never. Hey, what's up, dude? Yeah, you're here. You're late. Big deal. It's a hilarious podcast. It's very tongue in cheek. You should check it out. Two Woke Boys. It's on the internet. But also the Grounded Podcast is Jeff's podcast. He's a fantastic comedian, and he'll be on the show very, very soon. We're sure of it. More Brian, go.
By the way, this is going to
What's debatable?
Yeah. Can you pull this up? Because see here, Gracie likes to laugh before anybody knows what's going on.
I can't help it.
What am I pulling up?
I can't pull him up.
Imagine what she's. Yeah. Imagine what do you think? What do you think she's laughing at? Go ahead and bring up our older guest, Mayshon's little deal there. This is his response to Jeff's snap. That's debatable, Jeff. That's debatable, dog.
That made me uncomfortable.
That made me giggle.
I just what?
I'm gonna blow through a few.
Blow is not the right term after that shit.
No, dude, I don't know. I'm just a guy on a podcast. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. This next snap comes from Courtney. Courtney says she would win a gold medal in drama. Courtney is actually a coworker of mine. I totally agree with that, 100%. April, aka Amo, she says she'd win a gold medal in overthinking. And I feel like quite a few people are going to say that tonight, by the way. Will says, if Pokemon was an Olympic sport, I would have a platinum medal if that was a thing, but I'll settle for gold. That's fine.
Do they? I wonder why they don't give platinum. I mean, they give
some big
records, I guess, are platinum and shit.
Mountain Day. Corey, who's also out in the live audience, says it's easy. Writing tongue-in-cheek commercials that make you shake your head and laugh. than get me killed in today's oversensitive PC world. And for those that don't understand what the fuck he's saying, Corey is an exquisite radio voice. He's actually a voiceover guy. If you guys have any voiceover work, seriously, you need to contact Holler. We will get you in contact with Corey. He's a fantastic voice, but he's known for writing super bizarro commercials, which I also like to help write sometimes and use his voice. He's really great at it. And Corey, we always appreciate your weird commercials. Please keep it up. You're never too weird.
For sure.
Next snap's going to come from Beth. She says, my friend said the answer to mine would be being a fuck boy. So Beth is being a fuck boy. Brittany in the house coming through with an answer. She says she'd win a gold medal in bitching. Sarah says she would win a gold medal for straight sass. So we're getting a lot of attitude answers, especially from the ladies in this. Let's see here. Opening up more. We've got Nikki. She says, if bitching were an Olympic sport, I've got a gold medal. So continuously, we're getting the bitching like over and over here.
Nikki and Gracie, two of a kind.
Nikki and Gracie. We've got Mike Anderson tuning in. He says,
Gracie just staring at the screen right now, just feeling like
Mike Anderson says, drinking one black coffee every morning without skipping a beat. Good old Mike Anderson, the black coffee coming through.
Coffee's gross.
I'll leave that alone for right now, and that's everything my way, man.
Gracie, don't do that.
It just came out.
Yeah, I think we should move
Sorry,
on.
that was hateful, wasn't it?
Yeah, why don't we scoot? Why don't you
Brian, stop shaving. Bring on that facial fuzz.
Wait, did you say that or somebody else, Gracie?
Mayshawn said it in the chat.
Oh,
Brian, can you grow facial hair?
Bitch,
I'm just trying to help. I ask him that all the time.
Can you that'd be crazy.
I am listen, Jonathan, the artist. I'm trying to stay young forever. What I learned is if I grow out my facial hair, bro, listen, this is a real story. I've got a gray stripe that runs through my beard, man. Can you believe that?
Dude.
You know what I thought you were actually going to do? What? So for everyone listening, Brian he will randomly Snapchat me and he'll be like, yeah, man. So I was just driving down the road and I just stopped and I just helped out this friend, and this friend was helping out some homeless guy. And I just thought it was a beautiful thing. And you know what? I got back in my car and I was thinking, if somebody can help out that homeless man and he was more handsome than you, Andy, you got all the hope in the world. Bitch, who the fuck you think you are? He does that to me all the time, and I think it's a real story. So just now, I thought he was.
And when he gets to the end,
you know what? Sometimes when I grow facial hair, and Andy, this is a real story. You still look ugly as fuck. What?
See, he has PTSD from my snaps that I sent him. I'll tell you, this is a really funny. This would be like a 10-second long story, JD. So here's what I did. I snapped Jonathan here, and I said, hey man, I saw this guy just walk by in a suit, and he was a very well-to-do kind of guy, and this guy had it going on. He had a very good-looking girl on his arm, and I was like, dude, he reminded me of you, man. And as he was strolling down through there, I thought Jonathan, man, this could be you one day. So I want to tell you, man, this guy was fucking terrible looking. He was goofy as fuck looking, but he had it going on. So what I'm saying is, you could be goofy looking, man. You could still be somebody in life, bro. And I snap him this kind of shit at least once a week, bro. So now he has PTSD.
It's a random Thursday morning for no reason.
He's like, it's 9 a.m. on a Thursday, man. Why are you snapping me this, bro?
Oh, it's so funny, dude.
Hey, man. Consider yourself lucky, dude.
I love it.
Listen, bro, we got a real fun segment right now. This is what everybody's waiting for.
Well, hang on. I was going to say.
Oh, we got something here.
Just want to make sure, because keep the flow of the show going here. I think we're going to scoot on to Shots Fired next. And then after that, Jonathan, you think you want to play some music for us, or maybe strum a little or sing a little something?
Sure, I can do that. I got you.
All right, cool. We'll do Shots Fired, and then we'll fucking make it fucking haps.
Tell you what. Since we're at this weird little segue right here, let me shout something else out. I'm going to change I'm laughing already. I'm going to change the font on the screen. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Guys,
yes.
If you can see the URL that's up right now, tinyurl.com/datbooty. And that's booty spelled with a TIE at the end. Believe it or not, that is not a porn link. This is not a spam link. This is for a great cause. This is my good friend on Twitter who's also a social influencer. This is Chrissy. She goes by Crispy Taco Bell on Twitter, and I'll shout out that Twitter URL here in a second. But seriously, guys, if you go to tinyurl.com/datbooty, spelled with an IE at the end, you're going to donate to a great cause. It's a walk for autism. Her town usually does a walk for autism. This year, it's a virtual walk. So everybody's virtually donating. Obviously, because of the pandemic, everybody can't get together in large crowds. You're going to see more and more of this. I believe this place is in Cooperstown, New York. But nonetheless, a great cause for autism. Here's the point here, though. The reason why we have it as tinyurl.com/datbooty. Crispy Taco Bell, aka Chrissy, she has been nice enough to say if this donation hits $3,000 by the end of the weekend, she's going to give everyone on her Twitter timeline a booty pic. And that's really, we've got half the audience, half the Holler audience in the crowd tonight. They're waiting on that booty pic to come across the timeline. It's going to be worth it. $3,000 for a good cause, a virtual walk for autism, a booty pic from, and let me pull this exact. Hold on one second here. Bear with me, guys.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm actually, just to let everybody know, I am currently donating right now.
I'm definitely also going to donate. Once I shut the fuck up and stop talking, I'm definitely going to donate. I call her Crispy on Twitter. She's one of my pals. She's always been a pal on there. It's fun to see her be a social media influencer. She stands for all the great causes, just like Black Lives Matter. I would not shout her out if she did not support things like this, and she certainly does. And this particular day, she's supporting autism. That's because she's a great person. And you can find her Twitter at Crispy Taco Bell. And that's Crispy spelled with a K, so Krispy. And then Taco Bell, Bell is spelled Belle. You know, Bell, like a beauty. So it's Crispy Taco Bell. This is a girl that's going to show that booty pic. If we can get to $3,000 to raise money for autism, it's a great cause. We're going to keep scrolling this link all night long, tinyurl.com/dad.
I just did it. $40.
I just did it. It's like when Doja Cat said that she was going to show her tits if people got her number one. She never did it.
She never did it. That's impossible. Yeah, that pissed a lot of people off.
Listen, I will personally come on, since I'm the one endorsing Crispy Taco Bell here on Twitter, by the way. That's Crispy with a K. Since I'm the one personally,
I just put the link in the chat.
Thank you so much, Gracie.
Thank you,
if I'm the one personally endorsing her, if she fucks everybody over and doesn't post a booty pic, because we are going to get to 3,000 easily, by the way. If we get to 3,000, she doesn't post a booty pic, I will call her out, and she knows it. I'll call her out on Twitter as well, but she's not like that. She's not a Doja Cat. She's going to be fine.
Well, I just gave $40 to the cause, so let's all
right, let's do it. Now on to our favorite segment here. This is Shots Fired.
You can send me a booty pic. I'll appreciate you.
we're gonna fire some shots about some shit while we drink some shots of some shit. Here we go with Shots Fired.
Let's go.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired. My money long, my wits grown. Yeah, I'm talking big shit.
All right, guys, this is Shots Fired. And again, it's the segment where we are going to fire a shot about something while we take a shot of something. I'm going to lead the way. JD is pouring the shots up right now. I might need a little bit of backup right here. And JD, I know you can hear me. I'm asking you for backup as well, if you possibly have it. Gracie as well. Andy as well, or Jonathan as well. Sorry. Guys, I want to talk about people that discredit me or anyone for the love that they have for their animal pet. In my case, it's my dog child. And what I mean by this is
he was sitting behind me right now and is very hot. Very, very warm furnace dog.
Yeah. He likes to cuddle everyone in the house. Right now he's got JD, and he's happy. You know, he's good. He's a good boy. But my dog child, he is over 8 years old right now. He is he's my bro. We've been together since he was a puppy, and I sincerely mean this, and I can't say this enough. If my house were to burn down tomorrow, I would be totally fine with that. Burn it all to the ground. As long as my dog Serge is okay, I'm fine, bro. Seriously, and I mean that. Everything could burn to ashes. As long as my dog's okay, I'm fine. Now, here's where I run into an issue. Let's say I meet someone. I'll just call it like the dating world for right now. Let's say I meet a girl and she comes over or she wants to stay the night, and she finds it weird, like how attached I am to my dog. Like oh, we should like leave the dog on the ground, or like we should like put the dog up while we're hanging out. Like, listen. You came into my personal space, which is this dog's house. It's been his house for over 8 years. You don't come into his house and put him on the ground. That's not how this works. We're going to share this area. This is my dog's son. I shouldn't have to explain this. As a matter of fact, let's just take the spotlight off of me for a second. What if I went to someone's house? And let's get the dog out of the situation. What if they have a parakeet, dude? What if they have a fucking hamster, a frog? If they have something they're attached to and they tell me, hey, this is the same turtle I've had for the last 5 years, and it's what my grandma gave to me, and she loved it dearly, and she named, you know what? I'm going to take that shit seriously, dude. And I like, why the fuck would I be like, well, how about we throw the turtle on the ground? Because fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why the fuck would I come to your house and throw your turtle on the ground? That's bullshit. People that love their pets the way that I love my dog, for example, who are you to judge someone's level of love is kind of what I'm getting at, especially in like this pet's household. And like Serge, he kind of got up right there during that. He's like, I've had enough. I'm out.
Fuck your love, Brian.
Yeah. He's like, but seriously.
Brian.
Yes.
I just took my dogs to a dog sitter because I'm going out of town for a whole week. And I've been so stressed out about it. I told my dog sitter, I said, I would feel less stressed if you're watching my child for a week than my dogs right now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
That's how I feel about my dogs too. Like I trust you with my dogs, but I would feel less stressed if you had my child than you have my dogs.
Yeah.
They're my babies. They were my babies first before I had my little.
That's pretty weird. That's pretty weird. I just want to say
it is.
How is that weird?
It's kind of weird. All right, you know.
But we've got Kayla out there. Kayla says cheers to that, Brian. Obviously, she agrees as well. I thought people would agree with me. I don't know, guys. It's actually kind of, once I started talking about it, it's hard to put into words because, like, I realize when I have people over here, everyone's personality, and I don't just mean girls. I mean girls, guys, everybody. Like, people's personalities are so different. And some people, like, actually the majority of people will come in. They will love on my dog because he loves people. Everybody that knows Serge, they know that he loves people. But there are some people that come in, they're just like, hey, I'm not about this right now. Like, can we get this dog down or this or that? And I'm just like, man, that is a red flag for me. That is really strange. That is strange. Because like, even like I'm a dog person, that's fine. I mean, I also grew up with cats my entire life. So I will hold your cat like a baby. That is fine. And if you, like I said, if you got a turtle, whatever you want me to do, you want me to pet that turtle, I will do it. That's fine. Whatever you need.
Can I pet that turtle?
Hey, can I pet that turtle?
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. Shit's all confusing. Anyways, that is my shots fired. Show love to people that show love to their animals. Some people can't have children and things like that, and maybe all they have is a dog or a cat, and you should not come into their own house and judge them. Their love is legit. It's real. Don't question it. And if you do question it, you should go back home and think about that. Anyway, shots fired. Fuck those people. Seriously.
Word up. I'm going to go next just because I can. My shots fired is for people who think defunding the police means no more police.
Yeah.
That is not what defunding the fucking police means, you idiots. You need to read more than just the 3 words that people say. Don't fucking just hear something like defund the police and think, oh, you're not going to pay them? They're not going to be there no more? Who's going to be every?
No more police.
Yeah, that's not how it works, all right? It means maybe, you know, you shouldn't spend 50 to 70% of your fucking city budget on the police department, on getting the SWAT team new fucking militarized guns and, you know, buying all this kind of shit. Maybe take some of that money and funnel it into better education, better community organizations that actually fucking de-escalate issues, more mental health professionals, Give them fucking scholarships so they can get the schooling to help people. Like, that is defunding the police. It doesn't mean fire them all, even though you should fire the fucking lot, honestly. But seriously, that is what defunding the police means. It does not mean take all their money away. It means maybe divert some of that money into some better shit. Everybody, please, though, on the broader sense of things, don't just look at the fucking hashtag, and that is the be all end all of the conversation. Look deeper,
or the headline.
Yeah, or the headline. Look deeper. Follow in. I mean, I've actually gotten to the point now. I read any article that's put up. I always kind of skip to like the fourth or fifth, paragraph of the article just to see if really that's the meat of what the actual headline even meant or what the hashtag it's talking about really meant. Come on. Look more into some shit, people. Look deeper than the fucking surface. Defunding the police doesn't mean firing them all, even though you probably fucking should. That's it. My shots fired.
I got you, man. I got you. Here we go. And before we go deeper, we had a few things in the chat roll through here. I guess when I was doing my shots fired that we need to throw up here. So Dallas, she says, if someone doesn't like animal hair, she or he is welcome to stand.
Yeah, don't sit down.
I agree.
Right, Mama.
Mayshawn said, are you going to pet a snake? And then Ethan said, you're damn right going to pet that snake.
John,
Andy said, thanks for advocating for us. Come on. Kids. Absolutely.
Word up.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
We have Nick also coming through and says nurses and teachers are grossly underpaid. There are many.
Facts.
Those are
Yes,
those
we
are
are. Thank
those
you
are your
for that.
motherfucking first responders, by the way. They actually are before the first responders. They're the first people that actually do shit that'll actually maybe, educate your child into being a better person when they grow up, or teach them about fucking
responders. They're the reason first responders can read and write and know what to do.
Yeah, no shit.
It's almost as if you educate people and give them more opportunity. Crime goes down, drugs go down, and all this shit kind of fixes itself.
JD, another thing about defunding the police, by the way, I will use this. I will use my town, where I currently live, I should say, as an example. Barbersville, West Virginia, which is a very, very nice little quiet town that, like, everything is going great here. I mean, there's no big complaints here. The police, now that people are looking, this got passed around online. I was even shocked by this. Now that people are looking, the police budget was like $1.2 or $3 million on the year. And you're talking about a town that has like something really silly, like 20,000 or 15,000.
It's less than that.
Fucking 10,000 people for $1.2 million. And then the Barbersville Fire Department had like not even enough to pay everybody. It was a volunteer fire.
Yeah, they had to have volunteer workers come in.
Shit. What are we doing? What are we doing?
It's fucking stupid.
It is absolutely ridiculous. It's an obvious systemic issue. It's deeper than so many things. And again, people just fucking look deeper. All right? Come on. Fucking just be better. Jesus Christ.
I love it.
Gracie, you got a shots fired this week? Silence. All right,
yes.
whatever. Cool. Silence.
I was just waiting on Gracie.
The first one is no, I'm not. No. One is that you can't send pictures in the live chat. That's annoying because I had a picture to send. Second is the fact that they have not turned those two empty Bojangles buildings into Chick-fil-A's. That is all.
Down with Chick-fil-A anyway.
I like that. I like that.
Listen, if Chick-fil-A didn't hate gay people, they would be perfect.
I can't help it. I love the Lord's chicken.
If Chick-fil-A wasn't a big, run by bigots, then yeah, it would be great.
Perfect.
But I'd rather have Popeyes. Honestly, their chicken sandwich is about the same.
You're fucking dumb. Don't say that.
What? Have you ever had Popeyes before?
Yeah. What?
I'd say Popeyes over Chick-fil-A, 100%. And apparently that's the whole reason that 2020 started so fucking weird too.
Hey, look at the chat now. Look at this.
All right, Mayshawn.
Brian can't grow hair on his body.
Mayshawn, I don't know how to answer this actually.
Brian is just like a bull rat.
Mayshawn, I manscape. How's that for an answer? I don't like
I'm refilling my drink. I'll be right back.
That's fine. This is a good time to do that. Gracie, I never gave you your shots fired. By the way, here you go. Yeah. So take a shot of that Sprite that you're sipping on. But anyways, I got to get Michon off the screen.
Water.
Our chat's getting rowdy, and that's what we like to see. And again, this is Holler, the podcast that shouts you out. So, guys, if you're tuning in for the first time, if you get rowdy in the chat, if you talk to us, we're going to talk to you. Just like we're doing Michon right now, who says that is the church's chicken,
bro.
With an emoji.
Church's no. There's actually a chicken place called Church's Chicken.
Yeah, dude. Anyways, Jonathan, this is now your time for shots fired. And I know you've been waiting on this, man, so I'm going to give you the pedestal. What would you like to fire a shot about this week? Go.
Stop sending me.
Get yourself comfortable,
This is
pal.
just in general. This is not you guys. Stop sending me. If you disagree with something I say on social media, do not send me an article or a post or a voice message or anything like that as a way of, hey, I'm sending you this because you're wrong. I'm right. I don't want to talk about it. Go fuck yourself. I hate them. As a matter of fact, it kind of happened to me earlier where I got a message about a police officer who posted about something, and I read it and I was like, okay, cool. So I do want to talk about this, or did you just send it to me because you wanted to tell me that I'm wrong? And she went, yeah, well, I just wanted you to see a different perspective. I don't really want to have a conversation about it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So you just want to tell me I'm wrong. Please go fuck yourself with a rhino's dick because I don't like you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and then stop speaking. White people, stop speaking for us. Speak with us. That's a good.
Hey, Jonathan, I think this is a good opportunity, man. Seriously, I agree with everything you said. Why don't you use this opportunity, that very last sentence that you said, stop speaking for us and speak with us. Give an example. Just so, and I'll tell you why, man. Just so white people listening that maybe want to be allies, maybe they're silent allies because they're fucking scared to talk right now. They're so scared to say the right or wrong thing. So why don't you give them an example of stop speaking for us and speak with us kind of deal. That way they can feel more comfortable and maybe they will fucking speak up, dude.
Sure. Let me preface all this by saying this movement and what's going on in our society is not a white person's issue, right? If I can be completely transparent, it's really hard for me to believe that Brian, JD, and Gracie have experienced racism, more specifically systemic racism of any kind, right? It's just not a thing. If you have experienced racism, you've experienced it in isolated situations, and then we can talk about terms and the differences and all of them, whatever. But speak with us, not for us. This is not your movement. This is not your cause. Please use your privilege to allow us to speak to people who would otherwise not listen, right? And if you do post about things or you do want to be outspoken about it, please don't allow your wokeness to be like your thing, right? If you have ideas or you've had a conversation with people and you've come to this weird realization, also give people the opportunity to go seek out the people that you found that information from, right? So if you were listening to a podcast or you watched a video or you saw a post of mine or just some random thing or whatever, give that credit to us so that those people can then go listen to us. Not listen to you about us, but listen to us. Educate yourself, ask questions, shut the fuck up and listen, and then stand with us.
Jonathan, I got one for you. You can read this on the screen right here. Michon says, "Dear white people, just be good, cognizant people. Don't be scared. Be open."
Yeah, that's another thing. Here's my thing. Here's what I think a lot of black people would kind of agree with this too. So I live in Charlotte now, right? And here in the South, not specifically Charlotte, but outside of Charlotte, racism is a lot more in your face and blunt, right? So up there, it's super racist up where y'all are too. but you just kind of have to look for it, and you have to know what you're looking for and how it sounds and smells and all that.
Easier.
Right?
It's easier to hide up here, I guess.
Exactly. Down here, like, nah, just I hate black people is a thing. Like, all right, cool. But I would much rather somebody say, hey, I don't like you because you're black, than I would, well, what about black on black? I hate it. Like,
what aboutism? Yeah.
Yeah, like, or I can't be racist because I have blah blah blah. Like, nah. If you just don't like black people, say it, and then let's talk about it. Like, let's actually have a conversation. And part of that conversation is, yo, if you have racial biases, or whether conscious, unconscious, or whether you believe it to be racist, or your opinions, like, this shit can't be solved unless both sides are completely open about it. And I think in this moment, black people, I think for many years, black people have been super transparent in what we're going through, which is kind of what's gotten us here. And I think there's a lot of underlying things that society refuses to talk about, which has also got us here. You refuse to talk about it. How can we fix something you don't even want to talk about? How can I forgive you if you can't even admit you're wrong?
Yeah, that's some amazing, like, what we're what I'm seeing is people learning that lesson live. You know what I mean? You're seeing people literally. I saw a video recently of a woman who realized the error of her ways and like was legitimately hurt and apologized for what she was and became you could see her grow into a better person. Like, that's wild. That's some wild stuff. That's something that you couldn't see that, I guess, back in the one of the there have been many other civil rights movements, obviously. The most recent being the one led, by leaders like, Martin Luther King Jr. and things, and back in the 60s and whatnot. But even then, we didn't have Facebook. We didn't have Twitter. We didn't have the ability to film everyone all the time.
And it's great. We're using it. Thankful. Finally. Yes.
Yeah.
I think one of the things people forget, though, is that, like, Martin Luther King used news like this. So around this time, during the civil rights movement, like, news and cameras were just becoming a popular thing. So, like, even now when people talk about, like, peaceful protesting and all that kind of stuff, the labels that people gave Dr. King back then was that he wanted to incite riots and incite violence. And in all reality, yeah, he did. The first time, y'all remember, like, the Selma Bridge crossing, right? The first time they crossed the bridge, Martin Luther King wasn't there, and he knew they were about to get their ass beat. But he wanted it to happen because there were cameras, and he needed to show white people that this is what happens.
This is what is happening. It's yeah.
The second time you see that great picture with him and everybody else, that's the second time when he knew they weren't going to get their ass beat. In Montgomery, Alabama, when Bull Connor was literally like, hey, so, like, if y'all come down here, we're going to hurt you. And he was like, yeah, probably, but we want it to happen. So the people getting hosed and the people getting dog sicked on him and stuff, he wanted all of that to happen.
LaCandace just posted an interesting question in the chat, and I'd like to hear your opinion on this, Jonathan. She said, do you think people can change their minds on racism? Do you think we can judge people from shit they said years ago if they educated themselves? That's kind of a two-parter question there.
Yeah. Do I think people can change their minds on racism? Yes. I think most racism simply comes from a place of ignorance, and this goes back to educate yourself. So if educate yourself, ask black people these questions, these really hard questions, and understand that not all of us want to talk about it. Because again, as I've said many times, it's not our job to educate you on our oppression. This is not. But find people you trust and learn these things. And I think most people don't want these they don't want to have these uncomfortable conversations because they have to start admitting to themselves a lot of the shit that they've always thought, and then they have to make a choice. And when the moment they know they have to make a choice is when those weird feelings start to happen of whether or not I'm a bad person, I'm a good person, do I want to be angry or sad, blah 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 blah. That's where the crossroad happens. Do you think we can judge people from shit they said years ago if they've educated themselves? I think
Mayshawn, by the way, wants to answer this question. Mayshawn, if you want to type your answer in the chat, we can put it up on the screen for you. So yeah, go for it.
I think people who have educated themselves will show they've educated themselves and won't have to prove anything. Right.
Nice.
So for instance, like
That's
Drew
a wonderful
Brees,
point.
Drew Brees just recently, like he made a comment saying he doesn't like when people kneel during the anthem because it's disrespectful to the military. We know that's not a thing. He has then since come back and was like, "Hey, I fucked up," but he has made a public statement saying, "Hey, I'm sorry." But it's been other people, Shannon Sharp, like other articles and all these other people of him reaching out to others saying, "Hey, this is what I think, or this is what I thought. I'm sorry. Like, let's talk about it. Can you help me understand?" And I don't think Drew Brees probably will say that shit again. I'm sure he's learned from it.
Yeah, I'm sure he won't. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you can judge what he said before, but if his actions do change after learning from those, then that's what you can judge the past. It's always going to be there. But use it as a way to teach. Use it as a teaching moment instead of
man. Everyone can grow. Like we all can grow about anything and with any information. If I want to learn more about quantum physics, I can, but you should also probably remember the dumb shit I said when I didn't know anything.
Yeah. Remember when you said that shit? And
I love that example.
Don't bring it up in spite. Bring it up as a way to say, yeah, you were wrong in the past, but hey, you did learn.
You were dumb once, but now you're really smart.
Yeah, and even then, like it kind of goes back into the speak with us, not for us. Like if you said some dumb shit and now you're trying to speak for me, I want to be like, hey, yo, like, could you remember that shit? Chill out. I appreciate you, but chill out for a second, yo.
JD, on a lighter note, Marty Emerson in the live chat says, "I don't like JD because his beard is nicer than mine."
Facts.
So there you go. So congratulations on your beard.
Thank you, Marty. I like you.
But that's everything. Jonathan, thank you so much for your input. Like you were better than advertised, to be completely honest. I thought you were going to knock it out of the park. You fucking hit a grand slam instead. It was awesome. Thank you so much for that. If you got something to drink, here's your shots fired, and here you go, son.
So, Jonathan, I think we're going to open some things to give you some time to get your guitar ready. If you gonna play some guitar for it, what do you want?
I can. My roommate's asleep, so I have to sing some sad shit.
That's fine. That's all right. Sad shit's fine. I like sad shit. I'm an emo boy.
I like sad shit.
Can we open up a couple snaps and everything and then get him on that? Yeah, let's fucking do that shit. I'm going to play a little clip and we'll scoot boots onto the next thing.
Send your dick pics to Gracie at officialholler.com.
Summertime! Practice
everything.
I ain't got no crystal ball. You're fucking pathetic.
All right. Here again, I asked everybody out there in the world, would you rather have $1 billion instantly or have the power of flight? I'm going to open up a snap, and this first one is going to come from
Rachel.
Fucking follow the guidelines.
It's from Rachel, and she is going to say this. What's up?
Boy, you better give me that $1 billion. Flying ain't gonna pay my bills. Boy, you better give me that $1 billion.
Okay, you got it. Definitely give it to you. This one comes from Will. You can send him at Perry-Will. He says, I'd have the $1 billion as well. Money can't solve the world's problems, but it can certainly solve most of mine.
Same.
Amen to that, dog. This snap comes from Jessica. You can snap her. It's just Jessica, but it's spelled with EK at the end. She says, flight, of course. The only reason I would need money is travel, but if you can fly, there you go. Interesting point there. Not too bad. This is my last one here, and this one's from Corey. Lucopenia 567. He says, give me the money. I'll pay off my debt and live in my hobbit hole. Maybe create music or some new invention that changes the world, but I'd probably just rock out and drink till I die. So there you go. You don't need $1 billion to do that, man. I can tell you that. God bless rock and roll. All right. I think that
it's the
I've
podcast
got. Whoops. No, that's sorry about that. I think I only had like one or two answers from Facebook, so I'll just jump into that real quick. Tiffany says she'd take $1 billion with no pageantry. People wouldn't be coming out of the woodwork claiming that they knew me and still be able to act as though I didn't have the money. I could fly anywhere I want with anything I could buy. Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a shitload of things. And Akia's been in the chat with us this evening, but she put her answer on here too. She would take the $1 billion as well. You could already fly anywhere you want. Put that shit in a trust with a strange name. Make sure that you're the trustee. No one has access to the funds, but you as the trustee. Problem solved. Let's be billionaires. People do that with lottery tickets, and let's just do it that way.
Oh, we got some like lawyerly advice right there from Akia in the chat. Thank you for that.
Good shit. All right.
That's a CPA advice, says Cole, the Holler lawyer from the shadows.
All right.
And she is the CPA too, by the way. So very, very well done, Cole. So if you want to scoot this over to me for a couple answers real quick, we're going to go with if blank were an Olympic sport, I would have a gold medal. Allie snaps the show. Allie says smoking weed. And I know Allie personally. She ain't lying. That is a real thing right there.
Nice.
Kayla, next up. She's dying for her answer to be opened. Kayla in the live Holler chat. We see you, girl. Here you go. Kayla, if blank were an Olympic sport, what would you have a gold medal in? Here we go.
If sucking dick was an Olympic sport, this throat would be the winner.
Hey, yeah. A lot of dick in these answers.
A lot of Olympic dick going on. This next one comes from Pluto. She says, "I'm good at disappointing people. Laugh my ass off. I got a bunch of medals for that already." Womp womp.
Womp womp womp.
Womp womp. Little Pluty. Sorry, I can't find it. I got Country Mario instead. See if I've got any more here. Yeah, I've got Robin. This is a first-time snapper of the show for Holler, the podcast that shouts you out. Robin says, mine would be for trying too hard. And you know what? I know Robin personally, and she's not lying. She is such a nice person, and she's always tried too hard. And so she would have an Olympic gold medal for that.
Word up.
Let's see this one.
Don't try so hard, girl.
Yeah, don't try so hard, Robin. You're a good person. And that's all I'm going to open for right now. So we're good right now.
Word up. I think we're going to scoot on, and we're going to have Jonathan perform a little. I think we're about ready. Jonathan, you ready, man? I want you to can you serenade us on the internet? It's interesting, social distancing.
Serenade us on the internet. Shout out to Billy, bro. Do y'all follow Billie Eilish at all?
Hell yeah,
bro. Have you seen like all of her posts on like Black Lives Matter, like her marching and shit?
Pretty cool.
God, I love her. I love her so much. So why not a Billie Eilish song?
Let's do it.
I've been watching you for some time. Can't help staring at those ocean eyes. I forgot the lyrics here. Cities burning and napalm skies. 15 flares inside those ocean eyes. Those ocean eyes. No fair. You really know how to make me cry when I look in your ocean eyes. I'm scared. I've never fallen quite this high, falling into your ocean eyes. Those ocean eyes. I've been walking through a world gone blind. Can't stop thinking of your diamond mind. Careful creature made friends with time. You left her lonely with a diamond mind. And those ocean eyes, no fair. You really know how to make me cry when I look in your ocean eyes. I swear. I've never fallen quite this high, falling in your ocean eyes. Those ocean eyes.
Yeah, buddy. I love it.
Thanks, man.
Fantastic. Where else are you going to hear a fantastic, badass rapper cover a fucking Billie Eilish song? Where else but Holler, ladies and gentlemen? The podcast that shouts you out and does that shit. Well done. Jonathan, look him up on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music Unlimited. Shit, you're on YouTube too. I mean, come on, just look it up. Look up Jonathan. Specifically, Jonathan Curse is going to give you everything you need and give you a good little starting point too. A wonderful song he did with another artist named City Phil. Check that shit out. Again, shouts to Jonathan. Wonderful. Dude, you got a great voice, man. That shit is so much fun. Honestly, you probably get this all the time, but I compare you to Sam Smith, but I think you sound better. I think Sam Smith sounds forced. You don't sound forced. That shit is dope.
I definitely get Sam Smith a lot. Brian swears up and down I sound like John Legend, but
man, yeah, if you took those two artists and smashed them together, yeah, I could see that. But then have them rap some dope ass shit too.
So I'm saying if Sam Smith and John Legend fucked and had a fuck boy, Jonathan, boom, there we are.
Fuck boy. Dude, own it, man. Own it.
Brian gives me the most backhanded compliments ever.
I will. You know what? If you want to make a line of merchandise, Jonathan, that actually embraces the fuckboy concept, I will help you with that. I will help design that shit for you, dude.
Oh yeah,
we'll work something out, man. We'll get in touch about that. Kayla says, "Fuck yeah, dude." She enjoyed your stuff. That's
I think me and Kayla are Facebook friends.
Yeah, you might be. It's very possible.
She's cool.
But for real, Jonathan, man, I keep trying. Like all jokes aside, you're gonna think I'm coming with you some smart ass shit. This is real shit right here. I keep trying for a John Legend cover. Please give me a John Legend cover, and you just won't do it. I don't know why.
It's not in my soul yet, man.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
All it is. I got you. I promise it's gonna happen.
You know, he did a record. John Legend did a record with the Roots. I think the damn, what was it called? I think it's called like Up or something. I can't remember what the name of the record was, but they did a cover of a song called Hard Times, and it was so fucking good. It was one of the first songs that I put. I think it was the first song I put on one of my mixtapes.
Bro, send it to me.
Dude, I will. I think you would love it. But it's a cover of an old school soul song, so it's not a John Legend song, but he sings it. And you might actually do a pretty good job on that too.
Now, JD, what I was telling Jonathan here was I think John Legend's album "Get Lifted" is right up his alley, dude, because that's like the OG John Legend that was like kind of fucking mad, but also sang really smooth.
Kanye produced some tracks for that.
What I'm saying, man. So it's like that's right up his alley. But like, you know, he was honest with me, by the way. He was like, dude, I have never even listened to Get Lifted. And I'm like, well, yeah, I get it. It's an old ass album. Like, I understand that shit. But like at the same time, I want him so bad to listen to it. Like, yeah, I wish he would love it the way that I love. I love that.
I've listened to it. I've listened to it since. And like, it's a great album. I just can't. So my thing is, man, like, if I'm gonna do a cover for someone, like I want to do it right. And I want it to feel right, and like I haven't gotten there yet. That's all it is.
That's soul and music, man. You can't force that.
Yeah,
you don't want to force that shit. Yeah, it's true. Well, thank you, Jonathan.
Okay,
I think it's time for Grace to get the fuck out of here, right?
It is. I am so tired. I love you guys, and I appreciate you, but I need to go to bed. So, Jonathan, thank you for being here. I love you.
Love you. I love you.
I'll probably text you later today because it's now Saturday.
Do you have any tallies, by the way?
I do. I was going to give them to you.
Okay.
So far, 11 people will take the $1 billion and 4 people will fly.
Okay. I think we obviously
throw it out. Throw it out.
I think we know what the answer is going to be by the end.
I love you. I love you, Holler Nation. I'll see you next week. I'll bring you some seashells.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye. I love you.
Kind of something fun to review too. Bring it on back.
Bye, Gracie.
Now it's perfect time, isn't it?
And we're going to bring in our Holler at a Lawyer here. And for those that don't recall, we do have a segment called Holler at a Lawyer. And it goes like this.
The information provided on this podcast is not intended to constitute legal advice and is provided for entertainment purposes only. Because the information provided on this podcast is prepared for a general audience without investigation into the facts of each particular case, no listener should act or refrain from acting on its material. Nothing in this podcast should be taken as legal advice, as the information is not intended to create an attorney-client relationship of any form. We repeat, this
The
is
difference
not
between
your
your
attorney.
lawyer and our lawyer is our lawyer drinks on the job. But well, actually, that may not be a difference. Actually, your lawyer may drink on the job. To be completely honest,
Probably does.
He probably fucking does.
Probably does.
Don't you? Yeah, don't you? Whenever you go to those like lawyer offices, don't they always have a little bourbon thing, in the fucking corner? Always.
I have 3 bottles in my cabinet at work.
Can we go around the table now that we're on that subject? Have us at the table right here. We're all very different people in our own rights. Have we been in a room in a lawyer's office, like for an attorney situation? I'm not just saying like, do you know a lawyer? I'm saying like, JD, have you been in a fucking lawyer's office where you're like, some shit's about to go down and you feel like you're in that bourbon area? Like,
I have been in a windowless room with a public defender explaining that I didn't have any weed on me when they arrested me, and so that charge was bogus. And the lawyer, it turns out, just marked it off. Like, just marked it the fuck off. I don't get how that worked, by the way. He was just like, okay, they've got you for simple possession and possession of paraphernalia. I said, I didn't have any weed. I just had the pipe, dude. And he was like, oh, okay, we'll just mark that off then. I was like, what? Why didn't you just mark both off? Well, no, you had to be charged with something so they get their fucking money, right?
Tell you what,
that
was not the question at all, but I think JD has just defended himself publicly, and that's fine, man. Clearly, you needed to get that out, and you got it out.
I'm going to start with that. Cole, was that normal? Is that normal? Does that happen?
Yeah, because basically all they're trying, public defenders are basically the lowest paid lawyer there is, essentially. And basically they walk in there that morning and they're like, here's your cases for the day. Your first case is in 10 minutes. You better research it. So you're like having proof. So basically they just go in and they're like, okay.
Systemic fucking issues.
You're like, I had this. And they're like, okay, well, we'll just charge you for this. We won't even charge you for this. We'll get it done quicker that way.
That's insane. He just had the ability to be able to say, because I was like, no, there was nothing. There was nothing there. There was nothing. There was just the pipe. It was like, oh, okay. Well, if there's nothing there, they don't have any evidence. So, Mark, I was just like, well, yeah, well, I could just throw the pipe away and then fuck, whatever.
Yeah, well, that's just what he's doing. You got to, or he or she, that's what they're doing because they're not the one that makes the decision. They're defending you. So they still have to go before the judge and be like, look, judge, there was nothing there. We're, trying to request that this be removed from the record. And the judge is going to be like, okay, do you all have any proof that he had this? And they're going to be like, no. And they're going to be like, all right, then that's stricken from the whatever.
Wow. So then why try to prove it in the first place? Or why charge it in the first place? Goddamn. Systemic goddamn issues. Fuck the police. Defund them. Defund the fucking police.
Defund them.
Fuck them all. Fuck. ACAB.
Guys, just right smack in the middle of this for no fucking reason other than butts and butts and butts and butts. I want to take you to a URL.
I want to take you to the butt.
tinyurl.com/datbooty, and that's booty spelled with a T-I-E at the end. And by the way, I still have not donated during the show, and I promise I will donate.
Just do it right now.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Once I shut the fuck up, I'll finally do it. But the reason you're going to donate, this is a walk for, it's a virtual walk for autism. This town in New York, Cooperstown, they typically have a walk for autism once a year. They can't have it this year because of COVID. They're doing a virtual walk, and you guys can donate. But the most important part, well, not the most important part, but the great fucking hilarious part of donating is we have a social influencer, Crispy Taco Bell, on Twitter. That's at Crispy Taco Bell. That's Crispy with a K, and that's Bell with an LLE at the end. She's going to send a booty pic to the timeline once we hit $3,000 for this virtual walk for autism. It's totally worth it. We're going to keep everybody posted. The URL is going to scroll down below, but anyways, back to the Holler at a Lawyer. I want to JD, we got off on a tangent right there. Jonathan, it's up to me and you now. I don't know if you've been in this situation or not. I personally have. Only once in my life ever did I have to go to a lawyer for something. And when I went to the law office to schedule like an appointment or whatever, I was called up to this man's office, and it's so bizarre because, like, if you're like me, I'm just total average Joe, had never been in any kind of like trouble or situation, I should say, where I needed a lawyer. This type of situation, I needed one. And I go there, and they send me up to this guy's office, and this guy couldn't speak to me any more leisurely than like you and I talking right the fuck now. And like, I both love that and hate it, by the way. I hate it because it's so expensive, and it seems like if someone's taken all of this money from me, they maybe shouldn't be talking to me like, hey bro, your shit's all fucked up, you probably shouldn't do that, you fucked that one up. But like at the same time, I respected the guy for like coming to my level and being like, listen man, you fucked this up, or this person fucked this up, and here's what I suggest. So like, I appreciated it, I guess, at the same time. But like, yeah, I have been in this weird situation where it was like I was in this strange office room that seemed like this guy could pull out like a bourbon at any moment, hand me a glass, and we could just like shoot the shit. But also he charges me $2,000 per hour.
I've never been in a situation where
Jonathan,
I had to go get a lawyer. Like,
well, you're young still, so you know, if you do, man, hit us up in the chat. We'll shout you out.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I've done a lot of really fucking stupid shit, and I've never had to. So like,
man, knock on wood, dude. It fucking sucks. It really fucking sucks.
Mayshawn out there wants to know where he sends his booty pic. Mayshawn, I want to know if you're still on Twitter these days, because you used to be like very like avid on Twitter, and I feel like you disappeared. But if you're still out there, please go find Crispy Taco Bell. She's a social media influencer. Please retweet her because we need that booty on the timeline. We need that booty.
Yeah,
on the timeline.
I love the like.
Can we go
constant plugs?
Can we go hashtag booty for booty on this? If she does it, Mayshawn does it. And that way we have hashtag booty equality. You've got a male and a female booty, and that way everybody's happy.
I'm just blown away by Brian's like. Could ask JD like, hey man, what'd you have for lunch? Yeah, man, I had like McDonald's. You know what's really close to McDonald's? Taco Bell. Speaking of Taco Bell, we have crispy Taco Bell.
Booty pics and booty pics.
That booty.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, booty and Taco Bell. It's just like that's a combination.
Oh wait, yeah, those are different. That's a different kind of the conversation right there. Anyway, Cole, there was a comment earlier, and we lost it in the sauce from all the craziness in the chat. But somebody asked a very weird question. And we can't pull it up right now because it's, again, lost in the sauce. Hashtag lost in the sauce. Somebody said, is it possible that you could lock away one of your family members that comes to visit? Is it illegal to do that? And how illegal is it to lock? Basically, I think they said something like lock them in a closet for the duration of their visit until they leave. How illegal is that? And how can you?
Sounds 10 of 10 illegal.
I'm pretty sure that's called false imprisonment, and that's very illegal.
Okay.
Yeah, that's false imprisonment. So
fair question.
Simple as that. Who it is.
Okay, so side question. I mean, that obviously we all knew the answer to that, but I have a side question for that. What are some interesting examples of false imprisonment that people might not think are actually false imprisonment? Like, oh shit.
The interesting thing about false imprisonment is you have to know that you're being falsely imprisoned. That's one of the weird caveats of it.
Weird. So like a Stockholm syndrome.
Let's say, JD, you come down here to Florida and you go to bed and I lock you in that room because I don't want you to get out. Before you wake up the next morning, I unlock the door. You wake up, you don't know that you were falsely imprisoned. You can't then sue me for false imprisonment, even though technically what I did was falsely imprisoned you because you were not aware that you were falsely imprisoned. Whoa. And I also have to know.
Whoa, that's fucking weird.
I have to know or should know that I'm falsely imprisoning you. So, for example, let's say So let's say that you were sleeping, and let's say that you're one of these weird people that like don't wake up and you roll around in your sleep. And let's say I walk into your room to see if you're home. You've fallen off the side of the bed. You're sleeping on the side of the bed. So I leave. I lock the door. And I go somewhere. Then you wake up and you can't get out. You can't sue me for false imprisonment because I shouldn't have known or reasonably known that you were still in the house. I didn't. I locked you in.
Oh, but I fell off the side. Like you fell off the other side of the bed, like you couldn't see it. That's
right. Like I couldn't see. Like I checked. So So it's just weird stuff like that. So it's a situation where it could be like, I did falsely imprison you, but if I didn't know that I falsely imprisoned you or should have known I falsely imprisoned you, you can't also sue me for false.
Candace earlier said that's elderly abuse. And Victoria is the one who posted the original question. She's like, no, they weren't elderly. They're just fucking crazy.
Just like, so Victoria, if we're missing something, please post it in the chat.
Repeat your question if you can, if you're still listening, Victoria.
I guess then if they don't know that you lock them in there, then you're fine. Just
God, that's
a video
weird.
game or something. If they're a young person, it's like, stay in there and we're going to lock you in.
This is so non-legally bonding, by the way, everybody.
Dude, it's so non-legally binding. And I'll tell you what, Cole, our Holler, aka Holler at a Lawyer, he fucking blows my mind on some things because there are some things that just sound so cut and dry. And then after this motherfucker talks, I'm like, that actually makes sense. And I'm like, why? Damn it, why? There are some things that he says on the show I'll just never forget. Like, I mean, like, it was a few weeks ago. There was a question about like four-wheelers cutting through some man's yard without him knowing, and is he responsible or not? It's something I'll always think about, like those kind of things. And guys, that's why we have it. Holler at a Lawyer. Cole, I've got a question for you here. If you don't have one on deck right now, that is, and that is, there are commercials currently that say the IRS can take everything you own, including your home. Never try to settle with the IRS. How true are these commercials that come out? Can they take my whole home and everything I own?
I deal with the IRS every day. Lots and lots and lots. There are, unfortunately, I wanted to call them in a roundabout way, as unfortunate as it is. I don't like to talk poorly about other people of other professions, but I call them basically the ambulance chasers of the tax law, where they're the ones that will like call you as soon as they see there's a lien filed and be like, hey, the IRS is going to take all your stuff. If you don't work with us, you need to pay us blank down. Like, my firm's luckily very transparent on what we do. So we're like, look, you can definitely do things by yourself, but are you sure that you're going to get the best outcome of it? You know, you hire us, we can make sure that we get you into the best situation. JD, if I tried to do music, you know, Jonathan, you too, I could probably figure out how to do music stuff by myself. But if I could come to you all and know that I'm hiring a professional to do it, I would rather just do that and just pay a little bit of money and do what I'm doing right. Brian, same thing with like braces. I could go out to Walmart, buy a brace, try to figure out if it's the right brace for me, or I can go to a professional to do it. This is what I do day in and day out. So there's going to be things at the IRS. They're more pushy with individuals because they can tell you things and you don't know if it's the law or not. I'll be dealing with revenue.
Take advantage of your ignorance of that.
Right. There's things that I've literally seen.
So fucking despicable.
And I've seen things that revenue officers will say to people, and then I'll get involved, and I'll be like, send me the same documents you sent them. And they're like, well, this was just our initial. I was like, no, send me the same thing you sent them. And I'm like, look, this violates the IRM, which is the Internal Revenue Manual. I was like, this violates, you know, subsection, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, this is what we'll do. And they're like, okay. And then that's the end of it. Like, I saved 2 weeks ago.
Caught you on your bullshit.
Yeah, I knocked the ladies just because of one return that the IRS said that she owed because she sold a home, and they tried to charge her with a capital gains tax, which I'm getting way too logistical
that's
here.
Very legit. Yeah, that's a lot of detail.
Basically,
people just
sold a home. Lady sold a home. They tried to say that, okay, since you sold a $400,000 home, we're going to charge you for income. So now you owe us $256,000 because we're charging you capital gains. Because I pulled the record, showed that, look, she bought the house for $600,000. She actually lost on this house. I knocked her debt down from $256,000 to $2,000.
Holy shit!
But the IRS was the ones that were just like, no, this is what you owe us. So it's stuff like that. They basically will just look at the most. Basically, they'll pull back and just be like, this seems right. This is what you owe us. And it's on the taxpayer to prove otherwise. So that's why it's beneficial for you to hire a reputable tax firm if you have a large debt, because you not know the laws. And then the next thing you know, you have a $256,000 tax debt that was really a $2,000 tax debt.
Fucking wild.
So to get back to your point, Brian, the IRS has things that they can do. Are they going to do them? Not always, but it's always good to consult an attorney whenever it comes to something where it's either a large amount or, you know, especially if you're doing something criminally. Always get an attorney if you have a criminal charge against you, because you're messing with your civil liabilities then. And next thing you know, you're going to be in jail or have a restraining order placed against you. And then your life.
But dude, I'll say this as an average Joe kind of like listener to these commercials, they're so scary. And let's just say maybe you forgot your taxes for like a few years and you're just a little bit behind. They make it sound like if you don't call this 800 number right now, we're gonna fucking come and take your vehicle and you're not even gonna work tomorrow. That kind of thing. Like, so what do you have to say about that part?
It's if you think about any advertising you see out there,
that's just sensationalism, right?
Yeah, because you're allowed to say that because it's true. The IRS legally can do that. Now, does your situation matter? In the same sense, there'll be people that I'll talk to every day that they're like, I just heard this commercial that it said that this tax law firm, this person owed $400,000 and they settled for $5. Why can't you do that to my account? And I was like, because you don't know the situation behind that. Mm-hmm. You make $10,000 a month. The IRS isn't going to settle with you the same way that they would probably settle with this person who may be an 80-year-old lady who is getting $15,000
on a fixed income. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like, it's anything. It's you can't guarantee results. And you just make the most broad accusations ever that it has to happen. I mean, think about all these mesothelioma commercials we saw there for years and years. He's got a good point.
That shit's true right there.
That actually 90% of the time that's right. The IRS will call you if there's a revenue officer signed and they have your contact information. Usually they'll stop and knock, but they can, if you're a business, especially businesses, they can contact a business if you're not returning basically their knocks, essentially. But for the everyday person, unless you owe a buttload of money or a business, the IRS isn't going to call you without at least stopping by first. So if like I said, if you go to your front door and there's an IRS thing that has a revenue officer's name on it, they may be able to call you, but they're not allowed to call.
But that's probably because they missed you when they were trying to get in touch with you in person.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
don't get scammed.
I thought when the government, like the IRS, called my phone, it made noise. Like when I answered, like, "Hello, this is Brian." If it was the government or IRS, it would be like. But it turns out that was just a fax.
That's just a fax machine.
Yeah.
Brian's like, I can't get faxes on my cell phone. Please call back.
Hey, Mayshawn wants to hear back about whether or not he can actually sue the CDC for falsely imprisoning him on a goddamn cruise ship.
I mean, what is my statement on that? Anything. You can always sue anyone for anything.
That's true.
Now, is it going to go through? Probably not. But I'm sure, like I said, last time we had this conversation with Mayshawn, there's probably going to be a commercial that's going to be popping up soon that's like, were you stuck on a cruise ship because
of the COVID-19
lawsuit? Please call such and such to get into your class action lawsuit, because that's probably what's going to end up happening with that. Yeah. And then they're going to settle, and the lawyers are going to take about 90% of it, and then the rest of it's going to get split up among everyone else.
God damn it. Son of a bitch. Fucking ACAB. Fucking police.
So fucking follow the guidelines.
JD, I hate to change. Well, I don't hate to change the subject actually, because fuck it, who cares? Sorry,
who gives a shit? Yeah, we can do it.
Speaking of this, URL scrolling below, tinyurl.com.
Oh my god!
Brian wants to see that booty.
I want to see that booty.
I do too.
Yeah, we've got to donate. We've got to donate. This is for autism and also for booties. Okay, so that's what's going on. JD. I have my donation pulled up right here. I'm going to match yours live on the show. But I want to ask you: Is PayPal not an option? Is it only credit cards?
I just use a debit. Yeah, just a debit card.
I will have to fucking go grab my credit card once you start talking here in just a second. But like, nonetheless, I'm going to match you 40 for 40. That's at least 80, just coming from the hosts themselves.
That's great. We're going to work.
tinyurl.com/datbooty.
Now that URL is gonna last, I believe, as long as it's still constantly used. It will not go away, so you can always go to that. I think that we're just going to keep pushing this for a while on the next few episodes.
Yeah.
Try
use it and abuse it. That booty.
Do it. That booty. tinyurl.com.
Also, I just have to say one thing with Mayshawn over there that he commented on. He said, "Who's making $10,000 a month, and can I get their number?" This is just a side caveat. I'm not giving away anything because I'm not giving any names out. Had clients that owed $200,000. We did a financial statement for them, and their net. This isn't their gross. This is their net. Their net was $17,000 a month. This was after they paid for their mansion, their 3 or 4 cars. You know what they did? One was a pastor at one of those mega churches, and the other one wrote religious books. That's what they did. And they made 300 plus. Somehow, like I think they made like $500,000 a year, something like that. That's still one that sticks out to my head more than anything.
Oh, you fucking
pathetic.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Evangelists.
Big ouch.
Fuck them.
Big ouch on that one.
Anybody got any? Now, I was going to ask another little lawyer question. Brian, I'll let you take this time to get your credit card situation worked out and grab your drink or whatever the fuck you need to do. But
show everyone your credit card too when you get back, and don't.
Yeah, when you get back,
of it.
Yeah, so we can see it. We need to see the back 3 digits too.
If your credit card was your phone number, what would your phone number be?
What was your date of birth and your?
I need the billing address too that you get the bills for that card sent. Anyway. So we were talking earlier in the show about Black Lives Matter and about the recent protests that's been going on, everything like that. Can the police be sued for false imprisonment when it comes to like a protester being arrested for peaceful protesting, literally practicing their freedom of speech? I know that there's all those fucking crazy blurry lines when it comes to, well, they were unlawful because they were standing in the road or they were doing something like that. But what if, can you actually sue either a cop or a police department for something like false imprisonment if you're arrested at a protest for speaking your First Amendment rights?
It's such a weird situation because technically you're not supposed to be able to sue any public or government official that is working in their capacity. Now, when you go above and beyond and you exceed your capacity,
same oversight, like you should be able to. The whole point is people should be held liable for everything.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you exceed your capacity, then you can be the same way with what happened,
like violently arresting someone who is
right. Okay, that is you going above and beyond. So if you are. Let's just use this for a different example. Let's say that someone's protesting. You're like, hey, move out of the streets. And they're like, no. And they come up and shove the cop. The cop is then allowed to use the force that is necessary to subdue someone at that point. The force that is necessary.
Most of the time, and what we're realizing most of the time is they're not using that. They're using
they're exceeding the force that is. And I know everyone's all big on this gap thing. And I don't get into politics. I don't get into all this stuff. But there are a few good cops out there. It's just, unfortunately, some of them are not speaking up against the bad ones, which makes them, yeah. And I once again, I'm not trying to get political, but the silence speaks louder than anything right now. And especially, my dad retired as a state trooper in 1996. And some of this didn't come directly from him, but some of what I got is he was not happy with some of the new generation that was coming up because it wasn't through the protect and serve that he grew up with. It was more of the now people that got bullied in high school now have now they have a point.
Like the fucking meme that I saw of a cop pulling a woman over, and the cop says, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And the lady says, "I don't know. You got C's in high school."
Yeah, yeah. So, and it's unfortunate, but there are a few good things coming out. Like I am seeing a few police forces that basically some of the people are basically stepping down and they're saying I'm not going to be a part of this or kneeling with the protesters. So there are a few sprinkled out there. It's just I think what really happens is if you look at this more than anything, it's training. If you don't hear about as much of this happening with state troopers. It's always county and city because county and city don't have to go through the same training. If you're a sheriff's department and you are elected sheriff, you can just invite your buddies to be all the deputies. So these guys have no training. They're buddies. And some of our areas are just rednecks, unfortunately. But that's why you don't see this with the upper level.
Yeah, the weird issue with that is those are elected officials. So
exactly.
when you're basically given a mandate when you're elected to be able to. Well, the people decided to put me in office, so I can do what I fucking want. And that
needs to be one of the biggest changes. I don't care if you are a small town.
Accountability, yeah.
And I don't care if there's 2,000 people in your city and you have 3 people on the police force. There should be a requirement for you have to meet a certain level of education. You need to be at a certain level of requirements before you can be on a police force because I think the best thing I've seen during this was, I think it was Chris Rock, who said basically like, there's some professions that there doesn't need to be someone that there's a few bad apples. There can't be just a few bad brain surgeons. There can't be a few bad these. Like there are some professions you can't have bad apples.
Yeah, he said airplane pilots. He's like, most of the time the planes land, but there's a few bad apples out there that the plane ain't gonna land.
A lot of pilots like to land.
There's a gentleman by the name of Michael Wood Jr. He was like third in command on the Baltimore police force whenever Freddie Gray died, was like basically put in prison and died on the way and everything. He talks about how a lot of the stuff you see on the state level doesn't happen because like it's just more training and stuff, and how locally a lot of the violence. Y'all should check out Michael Wood Jr. He actually he actually talks about how like his ideas on how to make the police better, like longer training, more like community-based training, all that kind of stuff. Like he's really fucking good. Y'all should check him out. Michael Wood Jr.
Mayshawn wants me to say it. Well, first off, he mentions redneck. That's exactly what those county sheriffs that you elect once they're elected like that, and they're just like, well, we're going to call the boys in. It's like Boss Hall catching them Duke boys,
My hometown just like that. That's why I will never go back.
And he also, Mayshawn says, say it, JD, that makes them. And what he's saying is, yes, if there are a few good cops, but they stay silent when bad cops do things, that makes them bad cops.
Yep.
Is Mayshawn the nigga that got stuck on the boat? Whenever I watched that episode with y'all or from here, and I swear, I think me and him look like long lost cousins or like half brothers or some shit.
Could be, man. It's possible. You don't know.
Anyway, sorry.
No, but yeah, that's right. For real. If there are a few good cops, but they see a bunch of bad cops doing shit and don't do anything about it, they become bad cops. It's that simple.
The only thing I'll say about that is the defense that some of the good cops use is, but then if I try to turn on them, it's basically the blue protects blue approach, where it's like if you try to turn, then the next thing you know, there's a cop that's shot in line of duty, which
get stitches.
Which is
that happens in the streets too. But
that's sad that that's the kind of mentality. I think Jonathan about that. That's the mentality. You can't have that mentality. Like it needs to be, no, we serve and protect, and the good outweigh the bad, and the bad should be the ones that it's like, oh, well, if you're not going to follow through, but it's like anything else. We just need to do better. Plain and simple. Everything. Everyone needs to do better, but especially the police. But I think Jonathan said it best. It just needs to be more training. It just needs more training, and it needs to be more education, because these small towns are where it's the worst.
Mark Wahlberg.
Oh shit! All right.
Speaking of Mark Wahlberg, he was in a movie one time with Taco Bell. Speaking of Taco Bell, let's go ahead and plug fucking
tinyurl.com/datbooty. It's IE at the end of it.
That's at Crispy.
Taco Bell show her sweet ass. If you give her some
Crispy Taco Bell, that's Crispy with a K and
I
Bell
want Krispy Kreme and Taco Bell right now. All of a sudden, I don't know why.
And ass.
That common denominator on that one. Always.
Well, I think it's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. All right,
there's
Brian.
John Legend right there.
All right, Brian.
Mashawn's taking up the whole chat.
Yeah, he is all the way down.
He's on there.
All right, here's the deal. We're going to end this show up. I'm going to do some shouts, and then Brian and I are going to have a soundboard off.
Yes.
To end the show. So first shout out is to beerchuggin.com. Go to beerchuggin.com. It's chuggin without a G at the end. Buy some merch from them. Money from that will go to charity. I believe right now their major cause is the Black Lives Matter movement, as well as bail funding in cities like Louisville and Minnesota, which apparently Minnesota's bail fund, the Freedom Fund, is quite full right now. They don't need a lot of push. So it's best now to do research. Get out there and do research, people, and find if you're going to donate to places that need it the most. Do that shit. Beerchuggin.com. Buy merchandise. Chug for charity, motherfuckers. Ladies and gentlemen, chug one. Also, if you, I don't know if you've ever had Taco Bell before, but if you've ever had Taco Bell,
God damn it.
You should go to tinyurl.com/thatbooty. It's IE at the end of it, and donate. The money is going to go to the virtual walk for autism for our friend Chrissy, who if she makes her goal, is going to show us dead ass.
Yes, I couldn't have said it better. That's beautiful.
But is that legally binding? Are we sure that she actually does it? Do we have that in writing?
I don't think anything on this show is legally binding. Nothing. It's not.
When a girl like Crispy Taco Bell breaks out the ass, you don't even ask questions at that point.
No,
you just say okay.
You don't even ask any questions. You know what I'm saying? Next shout out is for our guest Jonathan in the place to be. Check him out on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music Unlimited. He, I believe, is also on YouTube. Basically, just go on there and search for Jonathan. The easiest thing to find would be Jonathan Curse. That's one of the songs he put out with another artist named City Phil. It's fucking awesome. He's got some other tracks that are out there. He's got new music coming this year. When the time comes, we will share that with you out there on the internet. You got a wonderful voice, dude. You write some great shit. Thank you for being on the show, Jonathan. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, G.
It's so much fun. We can't wait to see you in person again soon. Cole, thank you for putting the wig back on. By the way, Jonathan, I did want to mention this, and this is on the show, so it is legally binding as it can be. I bought a bunch of new production gear, dude. So when you come in town, let's spend an evening and make some shit. All right,
let's do it.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Fucking do it, yo.
That's it. Beerchugging.com, tinyurl.com/datbooty. Look for Jonathan Curse on any music platform and listen to Jonathan's music as well as anything else he makes. Is absolutely wonderful. Officialholler.com is our website. It's where you can go for all your Holler needs. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Hell yeah, Brian, you got anything else to say before we wrap this up and launch some fucking sound?
We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes. We're at your mom's house. If you are going to watch Jonathan's music video, you're going to see a cameo of my dog that I mentioned earlier, Little Serge Tankian. And if nothing else, it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it just for that. And there's Little Serge just popping up in the background. He's been chilling the whole time. That's how he rolls, man. He's been napping. He's like 1,000 degrees right now. But with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, Holler Nation, we appreciate you. We will come at you basically every Friday. We're going to take next Friday off, okay? But other than that, we're coming at you every Friday. And then once a month, we're going to give you Holler Live, which is when we're going to bring a live band in or a live performance in to the studio. We're going to give you a different view than what you're looking at right now. Cole obviously has another dog down there. That's Wednesday the dog, by the way, aka Weenie. Can anyone pet that dog? Of course you can pet that dog. That's Wednesday the dog. But guys, thank you so much for listening. Again, whether you're watching live or whether you're re-listening to us, we appreciate you so much. This is Holler, the podcast that shouts you out. JD, I'm ready when you are, my man.
All right, you ready to sound off, dog? Here we go. I'm going to go first. You go next. Ready? Here we go.
Okay.
And let's just, whenever mine's done, you do yours, and we'll just keep going until we run out
of steam. I'm good.
I tried this one chili and it set my mouth on fire, and I had to drink a 2-liter of Mountain Dew.
Take a shit on the internet. Pussy be yanking. Shut up, bitch.
Mountain Dew.
Grab him by the pussy. Today at our news briefing, there was an fucking follow the guidelines.
Well, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, it gets hotter than a hoochie coochie.
Summertime practice.
Indian outlaw.
You're fucking pathetic.
It's Brittany, bitch.
Hey, Jeff.
Boom chakalaka!
What is we doing, baby?
Then I'm gonna put a bullet right between your fucking eyes.
Mango chutney.
Oh, wow, 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 wow. Shut the fuck up.
Diabetes.
I'm done. That's it. I'm done. Oh shit! All right. Actually, can I get that country roads?
Yeah.
Country roads.
Mexico.
It's me, Mario. Okie dokie. Mamma mia. Here we go. Mario.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. This pussy be yanking. tinyurl.com/thatbooty.
See you guys later, dude.
Peace.